Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be recreating this iconic makeup look that Selena Gomez wore to the 2005, the 2025 Golden Globes, the recent Golden Globes. Her makeup was done by Hung Van Go, who is one of my favorites. Absolutely love him. Stunning. I remember when I saw the look, I was like, that's Hung. Hell yeah, it is. Gorgeous. So luckily he listed a lot of the products that he used. I'm going to be using as many that I have, all the ones that I have, which were majority Rare Beauty, and then we'll fill in some gaps. Anyway, gorgeous look, absolutely love it, very classic. Gave me like kind of Audrey Hepburn, but like with a little bit of like Grace Kelly, like the coloring was a little bit Audrey Hepburn, the vibe, the hair, everything was like a little bit Grace Kelly. It was very classic, it was very like chic, very beautiful. Anyway, very flattering. So let's jump right into it. All right, so for my skin prep, I use these new products from Ilia that I just recently received in PR, the base face milk, which I believe is not new, but this came in as like a little package. So I used this, I rinsed my face with a little bit of water. I misted slightly with my Bioma Balancing Face Mist. I went in with a few drops of this. I used their new, I don't know if it's new, again, Bright Start eye cream. Seemed nice. Moisturizer, barrier build, skin protectant cream. And then I went in with a little bit of their lip wrap reviving balm. So I was just trying them. They seemed really nice. I'm pretty happy with the hydration and look of my skin as it is right now. So I don't think I'm gonna go in with any kind of a primer. I don't think I really need it. Plus, Hung used the Rare Beauty, what's it called? It's like a skin tint. So what I'm going to be using, I mentioned this in a video recently, I have been mixing the Lisa Eldridge skin tint in the shade T3 with the Sephora Reveal the Real skin tint in the shade 120Y Fair. Lisa recently launched a light olive skin tint, which I do not have yet, but I'm definitely going to pick up because I know a lot of you are super curious about it. So I'm just gonna put this on the back of my hand. T3. You gotta shake it up, shake it up. We're back in the black void. I don't know if you noticed. A little more yellowy. Really love both of these formulas, and mixing them just makes it like a slightly better shade match for me. But I am very excited to try her new light olive tint. So, fuck. So I'm actually going to use a damp sponge to apply this. This is a new one from Beauty Blender. I just thought blue, you know what I mean? Like it just works. So I'm gonna, as always, focus first in the center of my face. My skin's been looking pretty nice, I gotta say, since I've very much healed my skin barrier. So whenever you're interested in a makeup look like this, skincare first, okay? Skincare first, always. Love those finishes. They look so, hydrating and clean, but like skin, love. Now, I'm going to start off by contouring my face the way that I usually do. Selena and I have very different faces, so I'm going to obviously tailor this to myself. I would suggest that when you're doing your base, you can pull inspiration, but use the colors that work best for you, use the products that work best for you, use the placement that works best for you, okay? So I'm starting off with the Sephora contour, the super gray one for my jawline. Recently, I've seen a video of someone going around, I'll try to pop it in if I can find it, of a makeup artist giving a tip where this person says to contour, to just put a little bit of contour right here and take it down the neck and then just blend it, which is a great option for that person given the way that her jaw looks. Horrible advice for me. I love the tip of taking it like down the contour of the neck. I do that all the time and it's fantastic. It makes it look much more like sculpted and also natural. However, if I did that, like it would do the complete opposite of what I want, which is why I'm placing all of my contour underneath because I do not have her jaw line. So again, just a reminder to do things for your face shape because it doesn't matter, like copying someone who doesn't have your face shape, it's not gonna, like there's a reason that they're doing her makeup or their makeup a certain way, you know what I mean? For my cheek contour, I'm gonna go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Fawn, which is just a little less cool toned. Still cool toned, still a great contour color for me, but it's a little less cool toned than the color that I used on my jawline. Now Selena has pretty rounded cheeks. I'm gonna, once again, follow my contour for my face shape. So I'm really like emphasizing here. And all the colors do look really nice and soft on her. Just doing a tiny bit more refinement around the jaw using that same color. So everything is cohesive color-wise. Somebody recently asked for a video where I break down the difference between contour and bronzer. I did this years ago, but if you want an updated video, I'd be happy to do that, so just let me know. Okay, for my bronzer, I'm going to be using the Bright Side bronzer stick. No, is it the shade Bright Side? This is their bronzer stick, and I think it's the shade Bright Side. I don't know, but this is Rare Beauty, which I don't believe is the exact bronzer color, but we're not the same color, so it's fine. So I'm using my brush, clean that up. I'm just gonna dust that on the back of my hand. Just wanna make sure I'm not going in with way too much. Because like I said, everything looks just like so nice and soft on her. And then I'm going to place this a little bit higher on the cheekbone to add a little warmth to the skin. This isn't like the warmest bronzer, it's slightly more neutral for my skin, but looking at her makeup look, that's kind of like how it looks. It's not like so bronzy because it's a little softer. Everything is a little bit more soft, a little bit more natural, a little bit more like on the neutral side. And then I'm gonna focus on the forehead in the temple area first. So right here, up to the hairline, just to add a little definition to the side of the face, and then take pretty much whatever's left over. I'm gonna dust it. Sounds weird to say dust when you're using a cream, but and again, like if you have a lot of acne, if you have area or dark spots, if you have areas that you do not want to like disrupt, then using a patting motion is going to be a lot better for you. That's pretty good. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of that bronzer, again, keeping things cohesive. And I'm gonna take this just along the whole jawline, blending up a little bit, and then just dragging it underneath that contour onto the neck. All right, I'm gonna speed through my nose contour just because it's very personal to me. Okay, for my concealer, I'm going to be using Rare Beauty 100W, which is my favorite brightening concealer. But before I place that everywhere, I'm gonna mix a little bit of the Kosas 0.5 neutral concealer because I'm just a little bit. I usually use more of this, but I'm gonna mix them, I think, because her face is pretty brightened. And then for my color corrector, I'm gonna use my NARS Nougatine, which is my go-to, which is just a NARS concealer. Radiant Creamy Concealer? I don't know, this is a little guy. This is the mini, so I don't actually know what it's called. Can't see it now that I'm on a black background. But Nougatine is the color. I'm gonna use Nikki's brush. This is the N16 brush. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of 0.5 and the Rare Beauty one. I'm just mixing. I like to start off with like other areas of my face before I do my under eyes. So I'm just gonna brighten here. You'll notice I didn't contour my lips, which is very difficult for me, but it just doesn't look like she really has that right now. We're gonna do that mostly with lip liner. And instantly just blend that in with my beauty blender. And take a little bit of that around the nose. I'm gonna go between the eyebrows on the forehead to really highlight this area right here. And I'm actually gonna do quite a bit of that to really draw a little bit more attention to that area. Just a spotlight right in the face, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna take a teeny little bit of that, whatever's left over. I'm not like mixing anymore. And I'm just gonna right here, just to lift the cheeks a little bit, bring those in. Okay, now I'm gonna pick up with that same brush a little bit of Nougatine, which is just this really nice peach color compared to my other concealers, to really color correct these dark circles. And when I say color correct, what I mean is we're warming up this area so that it doesn't look ashy when I put the really light concealer on top. Taking that into this inner corner, which is very, very dark. Okay, so I've already got like quite a bit of coverage, some warmth, and her under eyes are quite bright. So I really want to make sure that any area where there's darkness, I'm warming up. Okay, I am going to, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna use my little, it's not mine. It's, what do I have? Vincent Ford. I really like his trick of applying concealer and then kind of like scrunching up your face to see where it bulks up. Now I already know where those areas are. They're in my like deep lines. Here, I'll give you a deep zoom so you can really see. Because if we're doing like red carpet makeup, then I want to make sure it looks red carpet. So I'm gonna take a little Q-tip and just remove it. This is one of the pointed ones. I'm removing it from those lines directly where I get creasing. This, in my opinion, is the best concealer creasing hack. You can just kind of leave all the other ones behind. Well, except for one that, you know, I'm gonna show you that I also talk about pretty often. So just like pulled it out of there, right? Using my finger, I'm just gonna pat so it's blended, but that the majority of product in those like areas that are bound to crease aren't overwhelmed by product. You do want to make sure that it's blended though. So you just want to make sure that it's not like one area is just like like there's no product. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna go in with my Rare Beauty concealer, which is very, very light. She has a very highlighted under eye on that same brush. And I'm gonna lay it in. I'm not gonna take this all the way up because that color corrector is really doing a lot for underneath my eyes. And plus I'm gonna take eyeshadow there, you know? Color correct, what? I'm gonna really, really highlight this area. Bright, 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 bright. So down the nose a little bit, mostly under the eyes. This will depend a little bit on your anatomy, what you do exactly. So remember to tailor. I'm gonna take that lightness a little closer on the nostril to just kind of like refine that nose tip a little. Really making sure to bring it out to give a nice lift to the eye, brightening all underneath the eye. Very nice. I'm gonna take a teeny bit more of that, like on the cheekbone. Okay. So we're just laying it in to begin with. Pretty happy with that. So now, if you've watched one of my recent videos, you'll know this trick. I'm gonna take a setting spray. I don't care, it doesn't matter which one, honestly. Like there's so many good ones. I'm gonna use Fix Plus, just because it's right here. Mist my sponge. All right, I'm getting ready. I'm doing my Vincent Ford. So I'm just like mixing my face up, getting my sponge ready. And then I'm gonna take another little Q-tip in any areas. I guess I was spraying that on my desk. I'm just gonna pull it out of those areas. Now, I know this is just sitting, but I'm gonna get my powder ready. So I use my Huda Beauty powder in Pound Cake to set my eyes. So I'm just gonna get this prepared with my little puff. I'm just gonna use my Tower 28 puff. It's like the mini one so that I'm not taking this everywhere because I haven't put my cream blush on yet. So I'm gonna load up my puff, tap. Oh, why did I do that? I wasn't thinking and I just tapped it into my concealer. Damn it. All right, luckily I have a backup puff. It's larger. So once again, Huda Beauty powder, tapping my puff in. This time I'm gonna use my brain. I tap on this side of my hand just to really work it into the puff so it's ready to go. So rude of me. So that's ready to go. And now I'm gonna take my little sponge. I'm gonna blend it all out. I'm just gonna take this little brush that I contour my nose with and blend it in here a little bit. And then I'm gonna set it just under the eyes. Okay. Oh! Okay. Okay? Okay. Same situation on the other side. Whew! All right, nice. We're bright and we look nice, I think, right? We look nice. Yeah, I think we look nice. All right, I don't know if I like that Ilia eye cream, just saying. I think it's kind of unnecessary. And I think it's like adding a little too much underneath my eyes. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Leave it to me to use a brand new product when I'm trying to make something look good. I do it every single time. All right. So luckily I have the exact blush that Hung used and that she was wearing. It's the blush in Happy. So I'm going to try not to use too much of this because she has a darker skin tone than me. And this is like a relatively bright blush and it just doesn't look as like, you know, on her. So I'm going to blend it out a little bit so that it's thinner and I'm not picking up too much. I'm gonna go back in with my brush. I'm just gonna dip in and then blend on the back of my hand. I want to equally coat my brush, but not with too much, you know? Let's see, where the hell is this blush? It feels like it's very like here. Like it's not two apples. It's not two apples, but it's a little apples. Pretty. She's not like so blush heavy, but this is like flash photography photos, you know? So the makeup is always a little bit more than how it looks when you're looking at the photo. So this personally, very pretty. She has a little bit more of like an apple, you know, of her cheek. So she can get away a little bit more with like taking blush like right here. The volume of my cheek is like here. So I like to kind of focus it a little bit more angled and high, and then I'll take a little bit onto my apple and then just blend with a sponge. It's a very pretty color though. Very pretty. Love these formulas. So now I'm gonna go in with the butt of my sponge and just blend around the edges, especially toward the center of the face. Just this perimeter really, so it looks nice and soft. Very pretty. Love. Okay. Kind of looks like she's got a little blush like up by her temples. So whatever's left over, I'm just gonna go doop, doop, doop. All right, I'm gonna zoom you in because we are going to do some spot concealing. We're gonna do some spot concealing and we're gonna be using the new Lisa Eldridge pencils, pinpoint concealing pen. Where are they? And just anyone who was concerned, so Lisa Eldridge launched these, let me zoom you out so that you're not like all up in my face while I'm explaining this. Lisa Eldridge launched these, pinpoint concealing pencils, which like, of course she did because she is the pinpoint concealing queen. I received the package a little bit early, I think. Well, obviously I did. And I talked about it in a video, and I talked about it in like a video before they launched, and I was unaware that they had not been spoken about because I saw Lisa use them in her, it was like in a video that she posted on YouTube and on Instagram. And she didn't like talk extensively about them, but I saw her using them in it. So I didn't think twice. And I talked about them, and apparently it was before they launched. Don't worry, I did freak out because I did freak out. I reached out to them and I was like, oh my God, like, did I talk about this too early? I'm so sorry. I'll like, whatever. And they were like, it's totally fine. Like, don't worry about it. So yeah, some people were concerned. You guys freaked me out. I freaked out. And then everything was fine. So pinpoint pencils, fabulous. We're gonna use them now. So I have, she sent me 4 shades. I have 4, 2, 3, and 5. Excuse me, thank you so much. 5, 3, a little more like olivey golden. 2, little like the palest and neutral. I do wish I had 1. And 4, which is like a little like peachy. So kind of perfect for my complexion because I feel like we'll be able to achieve everything color-wise. So now that I have all of my products down, I can assess the face and decide. I'm gonna go in with 2 for this little spot. And I love, they're very, very creamy and soft. They give you the option to like you can kind of just like draw in a section, you know, blend out with your finger. And then you can use the point to like really, really pinpoint. Isn't that so nice? Oh, I love. So some little areas here. So I'm gonna kind of speed through this. I'm gonna switch to number 4. Since I have blush in this area. Back to 2. 3. Back to 2 for this little guy that you can't see. Okay, once again, using my puff, I'm going to set the center of my face with my Huda Beauty powder. So once again, focusing in the center of my face where it's oiliest, and then taking whatever's left over just kind of out. Okay, and then for the, am I just losing my hearing or does anyone else hear that? I think I'm just losing my hearing. So for the rest of my face, I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty Porcelain Tinted Pressed Finishing Powder. So just kind of like in the areas that I wanna do a little bit of perfecting. So kind of the center, like between the center and then like where I have bronze and blush and that kind of thing. For that, I'm using the Wayne Goss brush. I don't know what it's called. It doesn't have a name. I always thought that this was the, I don't know what this is. It's very soft and I love it as a setting powder though. Brush, setting brush. I gently dust this. I'm personally not a finishing powder kind of person, but what I like about it is I kind of feel like it helps to blend everything together. So like just the color variations throughout the face. It's not, I don't feel like it's necessary, but I do feel like it adds this like really nice kind of soft, smooth transition between everything, you know? Because the powder itself is supposed to be very like light reflective, but soft and blurring. So it just kind of adds like a little extra something. I don't use them all the time, but since Hung used it in this look, I felt like I had to. Okay, I'll be right back because I'm gonna do my brows for a different video in depth. All right, I popped on my brows. So that video will be up at some point if it's not already. Let's hop into the eyes now. I'm a little nervous about this because Hung is just like an artist. He just so knows what he's doing. He used a Rare Beauty eyeshadow stick. I don't have that color. I was looking through my collection. I have like every color but the color he used. So I have the Wonder Skin eyeshadow stick thing in the shade, is it the If You Know You Know eyeshadow stick? Oh, Ash. Okay, If You Know You Know eyeshadow stick in the shade Ash, which is a really nice taupey ash kind of color, which she really has going on. But what I like about it is that it has some reflect in it. It's very difficult for me to tell exactly what color she's wearing because when I looked up the color of the eyeshadow stick, didn't see it anywhere. Didn't see it anywhere, couldn't find it. I think it was called Levitate, doesn't exist. I tried to find images, could not find it. But this looks like kind of taupey ashy. I'm just gonna use a teeny little bit and it blends really nicely. So that's what we're gonna do. But first, he did use an eye primer. So I don't have the one from Rare Beauty, surprisingly. So I'm gonna use my e.l.f. eye primer because it's my fave. Yeah, so I don't like that eye cream. It kept my under eyes too wet despite me letting it like really set in. And I'm just getting creasing up in here. So I don't like it. I don't like it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna use that same brush that I just like picked up to blend down here, which is my Refer 26 brush. The placement of the eyeshadow is very much like above her crease. We have like kind of I mean, our eyes are not similar at all, but we kind of have like a similar thing going on with our eyelids. So there's like an area where her eyelid starts to crease and he went above that. So looking kind of like with my head angled up and looking down into a mirror, I'm gonna go just above that crease. I'm just gonna kind of like gently pat it out like that and then start blending back and forth. I'm always so nervous about using creams on top of eye primers because I feel like they stick so much, but I was like, he did it, so I have to do it. Okay, that wasn't terrible, but I actually think I'm gonna do this a little differently. So I'm gonna do basically the same thing on the other side because my symmetry is getting the best of me, and then I'm gonna do something a little different. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Okay, so I'm going to, using my Refer 13 brush, I'm just gonna pick it up straight from the stick instead of drawing it. And again, looking down. Yes, much better, much better. And do the same placement. Looks like he brought it in quite a bit, but that part of my eye is a little darker than hers. So once again, above that crease, and then just gently blending up and out, focusing the majority of the pigment just above the crease here. And then softening as you get closer to the brow. So creating like a pretty soft, smoky, very cool toned look. Ooh, that color's pretty nice. It might be ever so slightly more cool toned than hers, but it's very difficult for me to tell. So just slowly building that up. Just creating a little bit of a cat eye lift as we get to the outer part toward the tail of the brow. All right, I'm just gonna build up the cut crease a little bit. I'm gonna go back to the 26 brush, focusing on the tip and just refining that a little bit. And this is just gonna be a little bit of back and forth while I build up contrast around the eye to a place where I feel like it's sufficient. You definitely don't have to use an eyeshadow stick for this either. Like you can easily create this with eyeshadow, which honestly I think I would prefer. I just felt like I needed to do it this way. Okay, I think that's pretty sufficient for my coloring. Might be a little bit darker on her, but she has darker coloring. So now what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of that on the lower lash line. I'm gonna use the 26 brush once again. I'm just gonna pick it up and then run this along the lower lash line, gently blending down slightly. Looks like pretty much her entire lash line is covered. And again, if you're doing this makeup, if you're like adjusting this makeup look for you, if you don't wanna smoke it out too much, don't do it. If you wanna keep it like a little bit tighter to the lash line, you can do that. If you wanna smoke it out like crazy, do that. I'm smoking it out a little bit more than hers just because of my under eye anatomy. So as I get to the outer part of the eye, I'm just taking that slightly out. Very classic cat eye wing shape, very soft. She does have a winged liner, so we are gonna be doing that. Okay, for my lid, I'm actually going to set it using the Rare Beauty porcelain finishing powder. Just because I have it, I feel like there's just a matte powder there. And since I have it on the rest of my face, I might as well use it. I'm gonna pick up my Sigma E54 brush, which is once again in my set with Sigma. And I'm just going to pat this all over the lid, which will keep everything looking like relatively soft. You know? I don't know if it looks weird now, but once it's all finished, it'll all just look very like it's meant to be there. And I added reflect. Like there's a tiny little bit of reflect in this finishing powder, light reflect. So it just kind of helps prevent it from looking chalky on the eyes, especially since, you know, we used something that has quite a bit of reflect for the upper crease. Okay, so she has a black eyeliner, like a winged eyeliner on her lash line. I am going to adjust this slightly for my coloring. I recently used this eyeliner from Essence. This is the waterproof, long-lasting, stay-and-play gel eyeliner in But First Espresso, which is kind of like it's not quite a brown, it's kind of like a cool toned brown, and it really complements, I think, this like cool toned eyeshadow that we have going on. So I'm gonna use this first to just line the lash line because we are gonna go in with falsies. And I'm using my Sigma, whatever this brush is, E21, to soften that along the lash line. Keeping it super tight to the lashes. Kind of just like dotting it along the lash line just to like thicken it up a little bit. So we're just lightly thickening up the lash line to give the eyes a little bit more impact and also giving something for the falsies to ground to. Now, like I said, I think Hung used the Rare Beauty liquid eyeliner, again in black. I'm not gonna use a liquid eyeliner because I just want this to be a little bit softer. So I am going to continue to use this, and I'm just gonna follow my eye shape again. So I'm gonna kind of like take it here, and then softly bring it out. Just like that. And then I have my little E06 brush from Sigma, which once again is in my set. I'm just gonna softly kind of just pat that to extend. So it's a little bit low. I'm keeping it a little bit lower than where hers is, but it works with my eye shape a little bit better, you know, so that I'm like kind of avoiding this crease in my eye. Okay, I think that's sufficient. It did what I wanted, but it's a little softer on me, but it works with all the colors. I'm gonna zoom out and do let's just do the lashes. We're here already. I can't tell what she has on. I have these lashes from Velour that are supposed to be like extensions where you put them on underneath and then you bond them to your lashes, but I don't want to use them that way. So I'm not gonna. Can't open it. Really pretty. All right, I have these. Okay, so these are the Velour, what are these? These are the Velour extension lash clusters. It says classic lash cluster. So I'm guessing that's what it is. I'm gonna go back to what I did before. I was trying the Nikki makeup technique of like putting my lashes on first before putting on mascara, but I actually think I'm gonna switch it up. So I'm gonna curl my lashes with my Refer lash curler and then apply a coat of mascara to my top lashes. And I'm gonna use, I have this random mascara from this brand called Queen Musia 2053. It's a little inky, but I wanted to try it. And actually we're gonna be using their their lipstick. It's not quite as like thickening as I wanted, but we're going in with lashes, so it doesn't really matter. you know? Yeah, I don't think I like it, but I'm gonna do another coat. And thankfully we're putting on lashes, so it doesn't matter. But I don't like most mascaras. But it does seem to be like flaking onto my skin, which I don't love. Like, you know, I don't love that. What's happening up in here? Chaos and destruction. Why did I not wait for it to dry? What's wrong with me? That's really fucking stupid. I'm gonna use a little pinpoint concealing in number 2 from Lisa to save the day. Okay, that's not the end of the world. Yeah, not a fan of that mascara, but I had a feeling I wasn't gonna like it, and you know me, I don't like most mascaras, so whatever. Kind of just like a clumpy, oh, spiky mess, dude. All right, whatever. Let's just go in quick with these falsies. All right, so I'm going in with long. They come with a short, medium, and long, using my Melt Cosmetics lash glue, which is just the best one, I think. They're very lifted. I'm gonna focus this on the outer part, but not like all the way. Ooh. See, these are meant to be like the ones where you bond them, right? Lash extensions, but you can use them as like press-ons. Press-ons? What? Just regular falsies? If you want. Like they work just fine. They have a clear band, so they're not super heavy, but they're probably like more expensive than regular ones, so just keep that in mind. Very nice and fluttery though. These are really capturing the essence of like what her falsies looked like. That's a little low. I'm gonna go in with another long. Gorge. They might be a little long. Oh, but they're so pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna go into medium. That mascara is not, it's not setting, dude. It's like so wet still. I had a feeling. I did have a feeling. Wow, these are beautiful. I love these. I've just been watching the same video of her like posing over and over again because it's really helpful to see the makeup like in movement, you know? But just every time I look down, it's just like Selena Gomez like working it, you know? All right, and then I'm gonna do a short. All right, I'm gonna take that same espresso eyeliner, or but first espresso or whatever the hell it's called, and I'm gonna just on the inner part do a little dabbing so that it looks, you know, not disconnected. Could also do this with a liquid eyeliner, which I might actually do in some of the sparse areas underneath, but I want this to set first so that I can kind of like squish them together. While I'm waiting for that to set, I'm going to apply a little bit of Lower Lash mascara, and I'm gonna continue that trick that I did in the Lindsay Lohan look. I'm gonna use a brown. This is Bad Gal Bang from Benefit, which is in brown. Again, chaos. I think the lashes are a little long, but I do like them. Okay, squeezy, squeezy. Don't get stuck. Why are you stuck? Squeezy, squeezy. Doing this part can actually, it's actually kind of useful. No! Fuck. Hold on. Hold on. Just hold on. It's a hell of a lot easier to do with a strip lash. Okay, I'm just gonna go back in with espresso and just hit underneath those lashes, just filling in any gaps. And then, just like I did in my Lindsay Lohan tutorial, I'm just gonna take my little EO6 brush and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that eyeliner and extend and sharpen my inner corner, because it looks like hers does that naturally and mine is just a little bit more rounded. I'm just gonna do a little bit of refining with some powder, just in certain areas. All right, what I'm gonna do, I just feel like I wanna build up the blush a little bit for some reason, and I think it's because these colors are so cool toned on me. Like this is not for my skin tone, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna put a little bit more of Happy Out with a little bit of the Sephora Skin Tint, just to tone it down a little bit in color. Also the yellow in that's gonna bring a little bit more warmth to it. And then I'm just gonna pick that up with the butt of my sponge, really blending it out already on my hand, so I'm not going with too much. And I just wanna add a little more color. Yeah, that just makes me feel better. Once again, I'm just gonna go in and set just in that area. And then for my highlighter, I think he used the powder highlighters, but I don't have the exact colors that he used. So I'm gonna mix the two that I do have. I have the luminizers in Enlighten and Enchant. So I'm gonna mix these together to get the color close enough, I think, that he used. I'm just gonna mix these. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna mix, what? That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna apply them with the butt of my sponge, dipping in just like a little bit, rolling it around so I don't have like too much, and it's also evenly distributed. And then I'm gonna hit the top of the cheek. But her cheeks are glowing, so I'm not gonna shy away from this. Just building it up slowly. And then, using a little blender, I'm gonna use my another Refer 13. I'm gonna pick that up with that brush, take that, a little bit of that on the outer tail of the brow. Under the outer tail of the brow, not on. Take a teeny bit of that on the tip of the nose. And I'm just looking at this and I'm like, I feel like she has more warmth. Like I feel like there's just more warmth. It looks so gray. And it might just be because it's on my skin. Obviously I'm not using the exact same color that she did. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick up, this is my contour palette from, oh no, I've forgotten what they're called. Oh, Etude. I'm gonna pick up the bronzer color and I'm just gonna make sure that I'm really, really shearing it out. Really shearing it out. I'm gonna use the Refer 14 brush. Okay, I'm gonna swirl in there, really tap it off. And I'm just gonna put like a slightly warmer hue on top of this taupe. Just to add a little more warmth. It just needs something. And I'm gonna do that on the top and the bottom. That just feels better. Refer 02 brush. Just blending that a little bit on the lower lash line. It's also gonna help soften just slightly. Just a little bit of warmth. Yeah, that's better. That's just better. And then she definitely has like a little bit of a sheen in the inner corner. So I'm just gonna grab Enlighten because I don't feel like mixing them again. First, I'm gonna pop that on the tip of my nose and down the bridge a little bit because she definitely has that going on. And then for my inner corner, I'm just gonna grab one of my Refer 03 brushes, pick up a little bit of that highlight, and I'm gonna press it right in here. It looks like she has it when she turns. So I'm just gonna kind of like place it around my little extended corner on the top and the bottom, which will also help to kind of like add contrast to make that pop a little bit more. So just a little glow. Okay, I'm feeling better about this. All right, always, always, always use colors that are flattering for your skin tone, which I don't know if I necessarily would have used this gray at all to begin with. What the hell am I doing? All right, let's do the lips, dude. So I have the lip liner that she's wearing. Hung Used, Rare Beauty, Kind Words Matte Lip Liner in the shade Talented. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna try to kind of emulate her lip shape. I always try to when I do a celebrity look. So I'm gonna blend that in a little bit. Gorgeous nude. For my lipstick, speaking of that random brand, Queen Musia? I don't know if I'm saying that right. This is Madame Bovary lipstick, which is like the perfect color. I mean, it's close enough. I don't have the lipstick that he used on her, which is from Rare Beauty. So I thought that this was like pretty close. My lip balm face. And then I'm just gonna pat into that lip liner. It does feel like hers has a little bit more pigment and a little bit more peachiness to it. But I think I'm gonna grab a little bit of Happy, the blush, and my Refer 21 brush. And then I'm just gonna go back in with, I don't like this lip shape on me. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right at all. I'm gonna clean up with some concealer first with my foundation. Just a little cleanup before I go in with the lip liner. Do a little reshaping. And then back in with Talented. Okay, I'm happy with that. It looks more coral on her, but whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm just gonna take a little bit of translucent powder on a brush and set around that because I don't like that you can like see clearly that I've overlined. This might seem kind of strange, but her look just is a little bit more peachy than mine, her lip. So I'm just gonna peach it up a little bit more using Tangerine Glow, just a teeny bit, from Makeup by Mario. This is a lip balm. Plus her lip is a little more like juicy. This just has a little more like orange, hot orange. So I'm just gonna do that much. And just hot, just pop. Much better. All right, guys, this is the finished look. I have some notes. I have some things that I may have done differently. In particular, not using brand new skincare products to prep my skin. What is this? Someone please, what is this? Oh, is it stuck in my earring? Is that why it's happening? Oh, I think it was, no, it's still happening. I don't know what that is, but I don't like it. This is my interpretation. This is my interpretation of the stunningly gorgeous makeup look that Hung did on Selena. Love so much. I love the lip. Love the lip so much. Love the blush. I do think for my skin tone, I need more warmth. I also think that I made the eyelashes a little too big. So just keep that in mind if you decide to recreate. But I hope that this gave you some idea how to do it and also how to adjust it for your face. Let me know if there are any other makeup looks, celebrity makeup looks that are coming up. What? I don't know what I was saying. Let me know if there's any other makeup celebrity recreations that you want to see. Whatever. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and blah, 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 all the things. And I'll see you in the next one, dude.